I will be walking you all through this one today since it's a little bit different than a normal chocolate chip cookie recipe. So we're going to start out with the brown butter. What is brown butter? It's basically butter that has been browned over your stove for about 15 to 20 minutes until it's turned dark and golden and has nice little caramelized bits in the bottom. So I've used 1.5 sticks of butter in a small pot, and I've browned that on medium-low heat for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I have stirred it the entire time so nothing sticks, and you're going to have a nice dark color with some nice little caramelized bits in the bottom. Do not throw the bits away, they are crucial. So what you're going to do after it's done browning is let it cool on the stove, turn the heat off, let it cool for about 10 minutes, and then you're going to put it in a heat-safe bowl. And again, scrape all of those bits off because they hold a lot of flavor. So while my brown butter is cooling, I'm going to add a secret ingredient. You cannot skip this step if you want to make this dough properly. I'm adding instant coffee. You can also use instant espresso. As long as it's an instant coffee product and it dissolves into the butter, you're good. So I used about a half tablespoon to a full tablespoon, stirred it up, and we're going to finish letting that cool off completely for about another 20 minutes. For my dry ingredients, I'll have all of the exact measurements down below, but I'm just using all-purpose flour, a little bit of baking soda, and a little bit of salt, whisking or stirring that together, and then you're just going to set it aside. Now we're going to move into our partially dry, partially wet mixture. I'm taking dark brown sugar along with granulated sugar, and then I'm going to add in the brown butter mixture. Again, make sure you get all of the little bits in the bottom out because that's where a lot of the flavor is going to come from for this recipe. Next, you're going to use a mixer to whisk everything together. Just make sure that the brown butter has evenly coated the sugar. You're going to have a really dark brown base by using dark sugar mixed with granulated. If you only have light sugar on hand, that's fine too, but just know the dark really complements the brown butter a little bit better. So I'm taking a full egg and 1 egg yolk, and then adding some vanilla extract with a little bit of maple syrup and also some honey. Those 3 ingredients are also a little secret of mine. I think they just complement the recipe as a whole and really just add a nice richness to the overall flavor of the dough. I'm going to mix everything just really briefly until it's combined. I don't want to overmix the eggs, and then I'm going to start adding in my dry ingredients. So I like to fold in the dry ingredients. You can mix the flour and the just the dry ingredients with the wet if you prefer. It does save some time, but this is just how I've always done it, and I don't know, I just think that it's an artisanal way of making cookie dough. So I'm folding, that's a joke by the way, I'm folding the dry ingredients into the wet. After the dough is combined, it's time for the fun part, adding the chocolate chips. I added a full cup with, a little extra dash of probably like 1/4 of a cup. I'm not going to tell you guys how many chocolate chips you can and can't use. Use as many as you want or as little as you like, but if you're using less, I don't know what kind of life you're living, but you need to switch trains, okay? And adding an extra 1/2 cup of chocolate chips, it's not going to hurt anyone. So, my preferred amount is about a full cup with a 1/4 cup added in. All right, so your dough should look something like this, and now we're going to chill it for about 10 to 15 minutes in the refrigerator. This is not a dough that has to be frozen or chilled for 2 to 3 hours. It actually thrives on just being slightly chilled. Now, with that being said, you can see that I'm making pretty generous sized cookie dough balls. If you are planning on making smaller cookies, then you will need to chill these for probably a good 2 to 3 hours. If you don't, then they're just going to fall flat. They're not going to have a lot of shape. But if you decide to make bigger ones like this, then you can get away with just chilling them for about 15 minutes. So they're going to go in the oven on 350 for about 10 minutes, and then they are going to come out perfect, y'all. I mean, just chewy, glorious cookies. I'm just going to brag. They are the best chocolate chip cookies that I've encountered. So if you like a good chewy cookie, this is the recipe for you. It's rich in flavor, delicious. You won't regret making it, people. If you have any questions, leave them down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.